Hello and welcome. My name's James Harrington and this is my La Liga Team of the Season so far. Now the beauty of this video will be how it compares to what will be my Team of the Season at the end of the campaign. To say this is very subjective. This is my Team of the Season and you're bound to either agree or disagree. Just comment below your thoughts. I've decided to go with a 4-3-3. That tends to be the formation favoured by most La Liga clubs, and I thought it would be very Mike Bassett-esque if I went for a 4-4-2. If you do enjoy the video, leave a thumbs up, hit that notification bell to never miss an episode, and of course, subscribe. Okay, so we have to start with the goalkeeper, and I've gone with Edgar Badia of Elche, the only player in this side that features in a team that isn't in the top half of the table. Now, it must be said before I delve into this in detail, this team of the season was based on all the match days up to match day 19, so not including the fixtures that have just happened the weekend just gone. Now, Edgar Badia has been, for me, a surprise package this season in the Elche side. An interesting story of how he got to La Liga, released by his previous club due to unpaid wages, signed for Elche an initial 6-month deal, and now is the undisputed number one. He's made the second most saves in the La Liga this season after Dominic of Valencia, and he's even conceded less goals than the current Spain number one, Unai Simon. It's very hard when watching Elche not to pick him as their man of the match, and he's had two really standout performances. One in the defeat to Real Betis, which they lost 3-1. He did make a penalty save, but he was strong throughout. And also the game against Real Madrid, where he made 5 cracking saves. And that is why Edgar Badia is my goalkeeper for this team. So we go from left to right, starting at left back, Ferland Mendy, the French left back at Real Madrid. Now, a big reason why I've gone with Mendy is because he's displaced Marcelo, the Brazilian, who's been a mainstay at Los Blancos, getting over 500 appearances and winning everything there has to win as a player. But Ferland Mendy has totally dislodged Marcelo from the side and has shown what an improvement he is compared to the Brazilian. What Mendy can do is he's very energetic, very pacey, and he's really good with going into the attacking transitions from defence. But one key thing that he does over Marcelo is he's willing to track back. And this was most evident against Alaves, where Real Madrid surprisingly lost 2-1, but the Alaves team really exploited that flaw in Marcelo's play. There was very few left backs that I feel I could choose from that could compare to Mendy, and that's why I've gone with Ferland Mendy as my left back. Okay, so my left-sided centre-back is Pau Torres of Villarreal, the 23-year-old, often touted as the long-term successor to Sergio Ramos at Real Madrid. Pau Torres is a mainstay alongside Albiol and has gone from strength to strength since his breakout campaign in 2018-2019. One thing that is a real big asset of Pau Torres' play is his vision, his passing ability, and the fact that he's comfortable in possession. He's got a £50 million release clause, and Unai Emery has gone on record how desperate it is for him to stay. Pau Torres is clearly making waves not just domestically but internationally. In 2020 getting 6 further caps for the Spanish national team. He even has a goal to his name this season, and for me Pau Torres is the best left-sided centre-back in the division. So my right-sided centre-back is Jules Koundé of Sevilla, who's part of one of the strongest defences in La Liga. Now, Jules Koundé has been, for me, demonstrated great calmness when under pressure. He's not brash, he's able to do the basics right, he's very quick, he's very agile and actually comfortable going forward. He was named in the Europa League Team of the Season in the last year's campaign, and he was also recently named in the UEFA's Team of Revelations for those players under the age of 24. The Frenchman has attracted interest from both Manchester clubs, and when you watch him play, you can truly see why. Jules Koundé is also very versatile. He can play in the right back position, and there's no better man, I feel, in a 1v1 situation. I always feel like Jules Koundé will come out on top. Okay, so my right back is Kieran Trippier of Atletico Madrid. The Englishman was playing some of the best football in his career up to the point of his ban by the FA, which is ruling him out for at least 9 to 10 games, I think. Well, prior to this, he featured in 4 assists for Atletico Madrid, and importantly against Real Valladolid, where he got 2 in one match, feeding Luis Suarez the ball and also Marcus Llorente. It's a tall order impressing Diego Simeone in defence, but he was an ever-present in the side and didn't miss a La Liga match or a Champions League clash. He was a key component part in Atletico playing more attacking football this season, and for me, there was no better right back than Kieran Trippier so far. Okay, so now we've arrived at my midfield three, and going from left to right again. At left centre mid, I've gone with Pedri of Barcelona. He has been one of the few shining lights in what has been a bleak campaign for Barcelona so far. Admittedly, their form has recently picked up, but the 18-year-old is clearly playing well beyond his years. Seen as a key reason why Messi would stay at the club, due to the chemistry that they've built on the pitch. He has the ability to thread that golden pass to unpicked defences. Sleight of frame, drawing many comparisons to Iniesta, might be unfair at the moment, but you can see where that's coming from. He really stood out for me against Atletico Madrid. He got the headed goal, and he also created a lovely backheel pass from Messi to get the goal. From the Canary Islands, had a great campaign at Las Palmas last year, but he's made an effortless transition to the first team. Named in, like Jules Koundé, the UEFA Team of Revelations, this team had to have Pedri in it. So my centre mid choice is Luka Modric of Real Madrid. The 35-year-old has somewhat a revival of his Los Blancos career. Now factoring at the centre of Zinedine Zidane's plans, he's playing a solid midfield with Casemiro and Kroos. What Modric has for his age is a great sense of dynamism and a great engine on him. If you haven't seen his heat map against Atletico Madrid, you need to go check it out. Now, Luka Modric has had some recently good form against Elche and Eibar in particular, and even getting his first headed goal since 2009. Somewhat of a midfield maestro, I felt like he had to be in my team of the season so far. So my right-sided centre mid is another Atletico Madrid player, it's Marcos Llorente. Marcos Llorente has had a great 2020. And I think when the world really took note about his ability was that match against Liverpool. Now, what surprised me was he left Real Madrid for Atletico Madrid. He came as a defensive midfielder and didn't really seem to work out. But Diego Simeone noticed his explosive pace and his great shooting ability and put him as a more attacking midfielder. And since then he seemed like a revelation. In the campaign so far he's got 7 goals, 3 assists. His performances have warranted him getting a call up to the Spanish national team, making his debut against the Netherlands. And he had a really good relationship with Kieran Trippier, who also is featured in this team. For me, Marcos Llorente has been one of the strongest performers at Atletico this season and deserves his spot in this squad. So at left wing, I've gone with a Real Sociedad player because it frankly would have been totally wrong of me not to have one of them. After their performances last year getting into the Europa League, leading the league table and being in the Champions League contention, I had to have one of them at least. And I've gone with Miguel Isabel, their captain. Now Miguel Isabel is arguably the heart and soul, the real leader of the Basque club. Described as a Swiss Army knife in an article I read, it was quite noticeable his absence when he didn't feature in the side, coinciding with their dip in form. He has a real creative flair and an eye for a pass, and that was definitely noticeable in the derby against Athletic Club with that pass to Porto for the only goal of the game. In 14 games, he's got 7 goals and 4 assists, and was October's La Liga Player of the Month, getting 3 goals and being crucial in all of La Real's victories that month. I'm very much looking forward to the return of David Silva to see how that partnership flourishes on the pitch, but for me, Miguel Isabel is one of the most crucial players at Real Sociedad and is why he is my left winger of choice. So we now move to the right wing, and I've gone with Lucas Vasquez of Real Madrid. He has been ever present in the side of what he normally is, a squad player, getting more minutes this year than he did for the entirety of last season's campaign. Recently racking up his 150th appearance for the side, him and Dani Carvajal have that right side of the pitch totally locked down. What's great about Lucas Vasquez is his utility, the fact that he can also play at right wing and right back. Performances where he stood out in both of the positions were right back against Sevilla and in right wing when he got the goal and an assist against Celta Vigo. Suppose he just recently rejected a new offer of a contract renewal, but I highly doubt Lucas Vasquez is going to go anywhere. The Galician has been in great form this season. So we've now arrived at the striker, and this was a toughie. But I've gone with Iago Aspas of Celta Vigo. At the time of recording, he led the league in goals and assists, and there's one match in particular where he was just phenomenal, and that was in the game in November against Granada where they won 3-1. In that match alone, in open play, he created 9 goal-scoring opportunities. Now he's been at the club in his second stint for the past 5 years and scored 114 goals. and I don't think there's anyone more important at Celta Vigo than Iago Aspas. He seems to be totally liberated under Chacho since Oscar Garcia left the club, and he is a true leader at 33. What Iago Aspas has is the selflessness to create opportunities for his fellow players, but he also has that eye for goal and he can truly bury the ball in the back of the net. Recently named December's Player of the Month, for me Iago Aspas had to lead the line. Unfortunately, what's been notable for Celta Vigo, he got a knock against Real Madrid, and since then they got knocked out of the Copa del Rey and have just been beaten in La Liga, pumped by Villarreal. But Iago Aspas for me is the best striker in La Liga currently. So that was my La Liga team of the season so far. Comment below if you agree or disagree. I don't mind if you do. Now if you did enjoy the video, you might as well subscribe, hit that thumbs up and that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.